Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV. We're here at 5th Cloud Expo, behind me, New York City. But beside me we have Ken Owens. We're thinking that it must be Savvis time. And Savvis, I have to say, is one of the few names that it doesn't really suggest anything instant. So where did that come from, and how does it relate to, security and stuff?
Well, Savvis comes from a history with the financial industry. And it doesn't have any specific meaning, so it's one of these financial terms that is a good security term. You don't really know what it means or where it came from, but you know it's secure.
You know it's secure. That's a very good answer. I mean, one of the things that one's seen, you guys have a lot of name exposure all the time. What's all that about?
So we try to do a lot of enterprise focus. And I think being focused on enterprises brings a lot of these big names, big enterprises who want to look at your product, look at your services. And then when you are successful, I think that then helps get your name out there even more, because you get that success, you get customers referring you to other customers.
Right. I mean, you seem to be almost a benchmark. That's really what I'm trying to say. I might as well just nail it. You are a kind of benchmark company.
Right, yeah. We definitely pride ourselves on being that benchmark company too. So, yeah.
How was that achieved? That was in pretty short order, and it seems to be consensual. You haven't twisted arms. You just say, no, you have to go and work with these guys. So what's behind it? What makes Savvis so special?
I think it's a combination of our customer support, how focused we are on what the businesses are trying to accomplish. So it's not really about our technology, it's about more what our customers are trying to accomplish. But we also have a huge focus on technology, being innovators, being on top of the latest and the newest technologies, and then implementing those technologies ahead of the curve. We don't wait until the technology proves itself. We implement the technology based on the direction we feel the industry is going to go. And so far, we've been very good about picking the technology and the direction of the industry.
Right, so that's what keeps you ahead.
That's what keeps us ahead.
Do you think there are people who they're taking their lead from you and perhaps moving their strategy in line? Well, these guys are saying that is the big issue now, so we need to be aware of that. That's a pretty sweet spot to be in.
It's a good spot to be in. It's also a challenging spot to be in because, at one point, when you make or if you make a mistake, people are going to look at you and say, well, you don't have it now, right?
They're off their game. They're off their game.
Lost their game, yeah. and the problem is we're still a small company, only 2,000 employees. So we're not tiny, but we're also not large enough to make a lot of different gambles, right? So we have to pick very strategic gambles. And we're very risk adverse, even though it doesn't sound like we would be, because we take gambles or we take risk. But
the other spin would be it could be that you just know your field so very well that what it might still be risky in risk averse terms is actually not, if I looked at it.
And I would say it's a combination of knowing our field and listening to our customers. We really listen to where they want to go, where they see IT evolving in their businesses. And we want to, obviously, as an IT outsourcer, we want to evolve to where they want to get to, right?
Well, you and I were talking earlier, and in that sense, I was curious about how much of your time was spent, security issues. How much of Brian's day just disappears? I don't know.
Right.
How much was it? You said something like as much as 40%.
Much of 40% of my time disappears every day on security-focused issues.
Right, but of course I'm using the word disappear. I shouldn't, should I? I mean, it's devoted to it because of its significance.
Significance, yes, very much.
And again, customer-driven. They're going, Ken, this is our main thing.
This is our main concern. How can you help us address this need, right?
So let's think of an example. You don't have to name names, but give me a generic example of the sort of the scale of that type of customer and what his pain points have been, because I'm a little concerned whenever I hear about the security issues. I always think, oh my God, I hope I don't use that guy who's now talking with Brian about, you know what I mean? I'm always got my ear to the ground thinking, is things worse than anyone's telling us?
Exactly. So the scale is usually larger enterprises, and mostly in the financial services, in the healthcare space, right? Yeah, and so we kind of have those two.
This is patient confidentiality and that kind of.
So in the healthcare space, it's like patient confidentiality. In the financial services space, it's more around critical financial data, right? And their concerns are usually around user access control and around securing their infrastructure, how the infrastructure is secured from their own employees and from external attack.
So keep going then, because that's now interesting. So that's that vertical. Let's take the healthcare then. So. It's what? It can't be the entire system, because it isn't united, so it's an individual healthcare provider.
Right.
But saying what? Saying we want. I hope they're not saying we've got a problem, but they're saying we want to make sure we never do have a problem.
We want to ensure that we have the proper controls in place.
So the future-proof.
The future-proof it, yeah. And as they look at taking advantage of cloud services, or taking advantage of, it doesn't have to be cloud, it could be any new service.
Yes.
They want to understand what's the security model around this service. How do you, I know in a traditional hosting environment, you would have a firewall, you would have intrusion detection systems. When I move to this new service, do I still get those components, or are those components now, another offering I have to add on, or do I have to buy something new to get that piece?
I'm beginning to see how this works now, because it's like the sort of phone a friend thing. Once you've established your name as having the answers to just those things, why would you phone anyone else?
Right, exactly.
So I now can see how you can how you can just pile away at that same area and just get more and more cases where they can say, yeah, we went to Savvis. Why not? What else did you guys do? It's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Good niche.
Good niche, yes.
But I mean, not just that, but well, 2,000 people, for you call it a small company, come on, that's astonishing. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So where does the future lie then? I mean, can you yourselves scale? Is it scaled geographically? You just have, Savvis this, Savvis that, which is the model one's likely to see in the future. It sounds like, by the way, it'll be like next year.
Yeah. So we are a worldwide company, so we have a U.S. presence, Europe.
You've already done that, right?
Europe presence and Asian presence. But I think what's interesting in terms of scale is we're looking with system integrators to help onboard enterprises more rapidly into a cloud model. Right. And so I think where you're going to see us scale is we're going to probably go not way down market, but a little bit down market, and try to hit more of the SMB.
Just to widen the
just kind of widen the pyramid a little bit, and use system integrators to help us get those SMBs onboarded quickly into a cloud.
Beautiful. Well, I'm going to go on watching. We're all going to go on watching the Savvis story, and I hope you're going to go on joining us and telling it. If somebody's watching this out there, they go to savvis.net.
Correct. Savvis.net.
Catch up with it there, and really make that call. It sounds to me.
Yeah.
Just make that call. Talk to Ken Owens, would you, and his team, because it's a no-brainer. Thank you so much for joining us here at 5th Cloud Expo, and thank you out there in the World Wide Web for viewing along.